Oh my God, I can't, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, the daily.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I looked at your chart, Jake. I'm gonna see if we can let's see if that holds, right? And I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but I just shared that. Yeah. One sec. Yeah, so why are you there? Yeah, I managed to just get through with this just today, so I'm really pleased about that. Another one in the bag. So yeah, very, very pleased about that. As I was saying, what's it called? This week, when I was looking at my chart for us to go over and backtest, um, for us to go over right now and backtest, it's been very, very dry. Having said that, though, we did get a lot of movement. Just I don't think a lot of movement that we could have caught this week, but preparing for next week. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, Kel. Um, there was the only one thing that I did see was Chef JPY. I even went through indices as well, went through some stocks, commodities. They're just on that bullish run, and there's no point just trying to catch it right now. So we're just gonna have to wait for next week. I feel like next week might give us a better opportunity, kind of thing. That diploma is just for me to kind of to have under my belt. And what I mean by that is, when I was doing my networking and stuff like that, they've within the industry, so they've said, for you to kind of just stand out, like not to just obviously have that have that perfect track record in terms of your wins and your losses, your gains over the years and stuff, but have some sort of like you're not gonna hire a plumber with no qualification, right? Even though he might be good at his job, kind of thing, but at first you would want them to know what they're doing, to know what they're talking about. So that was it, man. And I've got a little bit of free time as well, so I thought, why not? Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So the one thing that I wanted to go over was, do I have it here? No, I don't. Chef JPY. I feel like this week that was the only play that kind of happened. Now, for me, according to my eyes, it's something that I would have missed in terms of working in the finance. Yeah, yeah. So so let's do a quick top down on this. Starting off with the daily. Now, I'm not gonna do like a high time frame. This pair is bullish times three. It's one that we've been waiting for a while. Um, then lower time frame. So this is a pair that were bullish times frame, and our lower time frame is being maintained by this here structure. Simply because we've had this break here. Lower time frame there, okay, and we can see the reaccumulation being made up by this distro here and this nicely made accumulation here. Now we can also see that this accumulation has and is fairly evenly traded out. Okay. For example, we can see them maybe just drop down to like an 8-hour. Yeah, so we can see, you know, after breaking that high, they came back and then they mitigated, you know, so this one came and mitigated that, this came and mitigated that. After breaking this high, this last push came and mitigated this move here. So within this accumulation, I guess this is the last point of support here. And this is what needs to be mitigated within this accumulation. So this is something I was looking at, but you know, it wasn't something that I could throw a limit at. The reason why I couldn't throw a limit at was because yes, my entry would be here, but I would have to either split my risk and put my stop loss here and also here. Okay, or you know, do something like entry here and stop loss here, entry here and stop loss here. The reason being is because this is not what's maintaining the structure, this is. So we could essentially break and come back after making this high, this is right. We could break and then come down deeper into this because this is the point that's holding structure and not this. Holding lower time frame. Okay, so we know that this is a demand zone that price can come back to. Demand, yeah. Okay, and you know, let's just watch how price comes into it. So far I'm not looking to do anything. We know this is a distro up in here as well. Okay, we know this is a distro up in here that's helping that's escorting price back down to our demand zone. Okay, now this distro I'm not going to pay attention to it until we break some sort of structure down here. So if we do something like this, then this is going to be my lower time frame slingshot and my lower time frame extreme, and I would look to play something out of my point of interest number 1, point of interest number 2. Okay, but right now this is what's being maintained, and essentially what we're doing is we're going to be looking for an accumulation up in here. Okay, accumulation up in here. All right, so let's see what happens. All right, now we know order flow is being maintained pretty much by this high and this low. Okay, that's our trading range, order flow high and order flow low. Okay, so what we're looking is for price to come back down into here, making this our next order flow lower high. So this is what we will need to break if we were to take some sort of entry. Okay, right, so let's see what happens. Where's my... Okay, so there you go, we pushed in a new low. Right, it hasn't come quite into the area yet, so let's wait and see. Okay, so now we tapped into that. Before that, I guess we would have tried to find some sort of confluence. So there's our 50, there's our 80 within this here. You can also look for like a retracement of this whole leg and see where that lines up to. So we can see there's the 80% within here. Okay, so this area is looking like a good point of interest. Okay, as I said, nothing, point of interest. No limit there yet. And I guess you can even do something like this and see where do we. So this is our 50. Okay, and I'm not really paying attention to that then. Okay, so this is where I'll be looking for something, and you know, look for some sort of accumulation up in here, something like that, get that break. And on that pullback, we can look to go and make a new high. Okay, this is our target here because this is our structure leg. All right. So let's do that. bullish lower time frame record structure. Okay. And let's come down because we're in that area now. Let's come down into our point of interest. Right. So we can clearly see something in here. Okay, so this is what we need to be broken. But at the same time, we can also see we can also see the accumulation, right? And we can see this being the spring, right? And you know, we can see the 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive, 3 drive here because this is an STB, and then we still need to have that break though, okay, outside of that trading range there. So let's see if we do get something, or if price does wants to come deeper into this area here, because this is where we found some more confluence. Okay, but there's nothing wrong if price want to accumulate from here and then just take off. Okay, right, so let's see. Okay, so there you go. We pushed in a new low. It's fine as long as we need this break. Okay, it's still no problem yet because we can get something like that. We haven't missed the entry yet. All right, so what did we do? We did go ahead and we did there was a previous low. We went ahead and we broke order flow here. Okay, we haven't broken the main order flow, the main like I don't want to say high time frame, but like this is still the like if like okay, yeah, in terms of market cycle, this is like the new distro here that needs to be broken, because this is the distro accumulation going into distro, going into redistro, going into accumulation. So this is what we need to really look out for. Okay, but as I said, there's nothing wrong in terms of, because we're in that demand area here now, demand area here that needed to be mitigated. It will be, you know, profitable for us to jump in. Okay, cool. So now what we need is some sort of pullback. And there you go. Okay, now for me, this is done. This area is done. Cool. So just a quick thought then, in terms of like psychology wise, something like this. Okay, now bear in mind, I know we have the power of replay button, but you would have put this, you would have looked at this after making this new high here, and price came in, finally gave you that boost here. So this would have taken you 33 days. So I'm going to round it up to 34 days, right? This would have taken you 44 days, and then you've missed this. Just jot down your thoughts in terms of how you would feel real time. I know I would be pissed. I know it definitely hurt this one. Especially the fact that, you know, we've accumulated so well. There's your 1, 2, and your drive, and then there's your break. Like, you know, price is doing something. Is definitely, we could, it's like, you know, you could see the orders being accumulated, but just not being able to get in. So that's that. Now, what's the next thing we need?
Break of structure.
Yeah. So I need this accumulation now to do something. So we know we've got an accumulation in here. Okay. I now need this accumulation to do something, meaning I need it to push in a new high. And this is where this high is gonna take place, right? So I'm gonna delete this box here because the accumulation happened above. Delete this, delete this. Okay. So I now need to get this high taken. After taking this high, then this price action comes back into play, because then within this leg, order flow leg, we would have an SC somewhere up in here. And then this accumulation that actually did something now is going to be our MC. And then higher time frame bullish, lower time frame bullish, higher time frame intraday, lower time frame bullish. I'm also going to be order flow bullish. I don't mind throwing a little bit of risk into this New York price action down here. Okay, but first things first, I need to get that booth. No booth, no entry. Okay, cool. So let's see. And at the same time, follow your points. Okay, there is all of these entries that you could have taken. For example, you know, this is the high. Okay, and this is what's maintaining order flow now. And look, price does come back into it. And if you was to just get the whole move, you can see price comes nicely into it. Even does give you a nice low stop loss. And your 10-to-1 is here, this new high. I personally don't trade that way because I feel like that's just chasing the price action rather than waiting for it to do something. Okay, but given the fact that we have tapped into demand, we have accumulated, I am now anticipating for this to turn into a reaccumulation, which in my next leg is going to be an SC, and this, as I said, is going to be my MC. That's what I'll rather wait on, okay, rather than trying to catch these. Again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. It's just me and my own personal approach to the market. Not doing. Taking its sweet time, but do we get it? Still ain't got it. This is why CHFJPY has been on a waiting list for me for such a long time, because whenever we was get like with even here, you can see how this shakeout. You can see this shakeout here from the reaccumulation. Did tap into this accumulation here, okay, but it never did anything for me. We needed to take out this high, and you can even see here, you know, it still hasn't done. It still hasn't taken it, and then this happened, tapped into this, but again, nothing for me. I need that high to be taken. And there you go. Okay, now we've done it. So now that we've done it, this is what's going to be maintaining my order flow. Holding the bullish order flow. And what can we see? We can see the accumulation, and we can also see the reaccumulation up in here. And we can clearly see this is the shakeout. This here is the shakeout. Okay. So now a couple of things straight away I'm going to be looking at is I'm going to be looking at this area here, first things first. So something like this to come back into my SC, where we can look for an accumulation, or to come back into my extreme. Now, because this shakeout has already tapped into this last push down here, I would say less likely it's not going to come into here. Okay, also given the fact that we are bullish times 3. Okay, so it's just a buyer's market now. They don't have time to break order flow and then make order flow again, kind of thing. So it's just, going ahead with it. So I'd say this is where most likely they're going to be respecting from that SC to go ahead. So let's see if we can summarize that candle quite nicely. Let's try 7. Wait, I'm going for 7G. That's 7 hours, good, isn't it? Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so for me, I'm going to be looking at this whole thing here. All right. So just to the top, to the bottom, and that's going to be 50% shakeout. And here is going to be 80% shakeout. Okay. And then just in terms of your order flow leg, this is that here. So I'm going to wait for a break of order flow, then I can calculate the retracement from this high, or if price goes up here from whatever high that is to this low, because this is the most recent leg. And then at the same time we can also push in. So I'm gonna wait for, okay, there you go. So it's too far. Okay, so this here we can see there's a little distro here, and we've definitely broken order flow here. So we can try to look for confluences. There's 50% there and there's 80% if you want to do that. If you want to do the whole leg, right, that 50% also lines up to that. So that's going to be 50% retracement, and then the 80% is slightly below, so I'm not gonna can't do that. But that's that there. Okay, let's also look at what's in here now. So within this, what are we getting? Accumulation, reaccumulation, okay, and the distro up in here. Okay. Now this week, that's the 10 o'clock week, so I'm not gonna really count that. 10 o'clock, sorry, the market changeover. We've also, within here, we've also got New York price action. So there's New York open. So I'm gonna take that into account, right? And then this is, well, it's gonna have to be that in it. Okay. There's that, as I said, I'm not going to count that 10 o'clock wick. This is going to have to be the lowest. So this for me is the shakeout here, and then that's going to be that low here. And we can see that 50% is very close. So I'm going to add that in here. Plus 50% reaccumulation. Okay. And then again, if you was to do this to here, Okay. And looking at the retracement, you can see this is where like my 88.8 to be around that 80%. So now this is not to say I'm just gonna have all of these limits or as price comes I'm just gonna market execute, but these are areas for me to find confluence. Like for example, I know now this is a very good area. It just ticks a lot of boxes. But looking at this, we do have Asian price action in here, and I would like to be buying it below this Asian price action here and into this New York open, which is right here. So I will be looking around here somewhere, which is what I was personally looking at. Okay. This is what I was looking at this week, something like this, to go and make a new high here. Okay. Stop loss was kind of big, 18 pips. With spread came to about 20 something, I think. What was I looking at? Yeah, there. But the risk to reward justified it, because just to make a new lower time frame high was above a 10-1, which is what I like to look for. Now, unfortunately, this is something that I missed, and we can see that. So price taps into that area. Okay, no way. So this for me on my account, I missed this. And it was, yeah, it was mad. I didn't get activated by like a couple of, I think it was about four pips as well. But this is, so definitely price came back to 80% of that, this shakeout here. Now, if you did have a limit there, about 30 pips, just to make that new high there is about a 10-1, but I guess it all depends to your risk reward. I know I wasn't looking for that 30 pips. That's why I was looking for somewhere up in here. But as you can see here, I missed that. So this was one of the trades that we was looking at this, but the only thing is this also happened Monday, which is I didn't take this. I've set the limit back when the week before I had a little risk there, simply because I know because of that shakeout here, we wasn't coming back. I threw a little bit of risk in there, but we didn't come. But now, guess what? We just go again. What do we have here? We have got an accumulation. Doing that. Okay. Now, when I was looking at this was our low, so new low. We never, well, I would have wanted this to come a little bit lower and make a new low, which then would have tapped me in, but it didn't do that. And we can see here the session timing would have been perfect as well, because this would have been New York price action. Never did that, but no problem. So looking at this was our new low, and here. So this is what we needed for us to break. Okay. And now that we did, wait. Okay. So this is what we needed to break, right? Let's go back to this. Okay, so wait for that breakdown. Okay, there you go. All right, now that we have got this break, let's look at what was the cause of it. So we know here is our SC, and we can see, right, although this was our leg here, we can see that this has mitigated that. So this is what needed to, this would be our MC of this leg here now. Okay. So looking at this, I'm just gonna delete all of this because it's gonna be confusing. Coming back down. Right, so we know we've come off from an accumulation here. And we can see the reaccumulation here. Reaccumulation, okay. And this is where I guess Mike was looking at this, I think Thursday. So yesterday. So during yesterday's New York session, he was looking for a buy. But I was just looking at this and I was like, okay, cool, we've got this accumulation, tapped into reaccumulation. That second entry that he was trying to find up in here, I was waiting for it to come much lower. Okay, and I missed it, but we can see here the market cycle just was just making sense. So just gonna let the distro play out a little bit. Okay. All right. So now, and then we can also see there's a micro up in here, right? But I'm not really too focused on that just yet. I'm gonna be looking at this area. So what do we have here? We have got the 50% of the shakeout. 50%. And we have got the 80% here. All right. I'm gonna try to see if we can find a nice candle. Okay, that's 7. There's a 50% of it. 7-minute. And then there's 80% of that 7-minute. Can't really find no confluence, but and I guess same thing because we've got that booth here now. Okay, you can throw a fibbo and see how deep are we retracing into. Okay, so for me, I don't like to have my ETH deep into my 80s, so I can see, you know, somewhere in here would be a good area. And again, same thing, that structural break down here is what we was looking at. Okay, so right, let's look at this. We have got this was our lower time frame leg. This was the last unmitigated point that price needed to come down to. This was our demand zone, and then we can see the order flow walking itself back down. There was a micro in here. We didn't catch that, no problem. Then we've got the booth here. Now inside that booth, this is now the leg. We did get a pullback. Again, we didn't catch that, no problem. And now within this pullback now, we've got another booth, and we're gonna see if we can catch that. We're looking to trade manage this in terms of here. So we'll take, after making a new high, go to break even, pay some risk, reduce risk. This new high here, partials, and then partials will make this new lower time frame break of structure. Okay, so let's look at this. Right, so this was previous day's price action 2 days before, and then now we're coming into New York Open. Right, so this is that distro. Okay, and I believe somewhere in here was where Mike was trying to look into. Okay, and then same thing. So this one, I missed this one as well because it came back to 80%, 50% of that 7 minute, and then it just went. Okay, and then there was your break. And then this is where we are now today. So it did give us a nice move, but it just didn't come quite near to where I wanted it. Had you taken that 80% there, it would reduce your R&R, but you would be in, and you would be sitting around 5 to 1. Okay, and if that was something that you would have market executed right there, so there's that low, and there's the new low. So this, so up in here somewhere. I guess I personally wouldn't have looked at this in terms of going to break even. I would have needed this to go to break even. Sorry, to reduce risk first, and then up on that pullback next break, go to break even, and then down here pay my risk, and then partial, and then structure break, partial again. So, but that was it. So this week, that I feel like that was the only play that kind of gave us a nice decent entry. There was this one here as well. Yeah, this one here. So this happened Monday. Unfortunately, this pullback didn't do anything. The shakeout here, so we had to wait for that break. Upon that break, Thursday gave us a nice, everything lined up, day, time, session wise. It just didn't give us a pullback deep enough. The highest that this went to in terms of, if you did take it from that 50% of the 7 minute. Now, was there a chance for us to split the risk on somehow? So, what is okay? This is at 2 o'clock. So for me, this would hold some sort of significant volume. See, I mean, it still would be this whole move here. You could maybe put your stop loss in here, but I don't really see that. For me, still be this. And then yeah, this would have been my true stop loss size. Yeah, cool. Let me know if you guys got any questions, because as I said, this is all I've got in terms of this week. Normally we have like a couple of pairs that gives us like at least 10 to 1 minimum. But again, the market has just been kind of dry. But let me know if you got any question. I haven't looked at the chart. In terms of if you want to go over something else as well, let me know. Before I move on to this, let me know if you guys had any questions within what I was saying. Maybe you don't agree, maybe you want some more clarification or something. No, cool. There weren't a lot, as I said. The other thing was just, I think, let me see if Kelly's still here. Remember we was talking about platinum, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can't hear me that well, I don't think.
I can hear you now.
On Chef JPY, have you done a markup for where you want it to do for a buy for next week?
Let's see. Okay, so first things first, what do we need?
Right. Break of structure.
Yeah, where?
Hold on. There.
Yeah, so order flow wise, to continue with this order flow, which we can because we're bullish times 3 now, would be, yes, to wait for this break. And within this now, this accumulation comes back on the line down here. And then let's just say it reaccumulates somewhere in here and makes that. This is going to be our SC. So either look for that as option 1 or look for this as our option 2. Okay, to go up. But for me, what I'm really truly like, I'm not, my whiteboard just dropped. I'm not really too bothered if I don't catch this here, because I'm waiting for this move. Like once we make this, then this is what's going to be holding lower time frame. And then that accumulation is going to be back on the line again.
Then you'd wait for a buy. You'll be waiting here, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be waiting for, because this will be my MC, and then we can see, right? So this hold on, it's getting messy. This here is like my next reaccumulation. So if price does something like this, we can see then, you know, this was the reaccumulation. So this was my SC, and this accumulation is my MC here that I'm waiting. So there's a chance, you know, we can really see that if that happens next week, that would be good. But if we don't, then as I was showing on the chat earlier, we do have a couple of good things coming up next week. So I've got this UJ that finally broke lower time frame. So this has been on oh, hold on, it's not this one, it's this chat. Okay, so I got UJ here that finally broke. So yeah, exactly, just like Chef JPY, right? I feel like with Chef JPY, we're somewhere down here. When we get that, this whole thing is going to be my reaccumulation. So this is going to be my MC, SC, sorry, and then this accumulation, which is holding that leg, is going to be my MC. So I dropped the credentials down here about the 12-minute, the 9-minute, 6-minute stuff. There's a micro inside this accumulation, so that's good. Train your eyes there. There's that. There's also Chef JPY for next week, man. It's taking its sweet time, but we're about 30 pips away from breaking this lower. Yeah, 26 pips. I wonder if you can do that by tonight. You won't believe it. This took 40 days. Yeah, 39. So 40 days. And the only thing they did was just make a new order flow high. 40 days, all right? The good thing is I'm positive swap. So I'm actually being paid to hold this from here. So about 2 months now. 2 months now. And then essentially all of this nonsense is out the window. So yeah, we made the booth. I'll be looking at this area first. There's a nice 47-minute there. I'm not sure if anyone has seen this.
What candle? Did you say 47 minutes?
Yep, really nice. Up in there. slap the 50, even the 50, right? Man, the 80 is going to be ridiculous. 3 pips. Even the 50 is not that bad. So yeah, and we can see, you know, we've engulfed it, broke, never actually came back. So there you go. We haven't even come back to the open of it. And I think from there we just took off.
You waiting for it to come back?
Well, that's going to be my extreme, isn't it? No, sorry, that's going to be the so inside this reaccumulation here.
That's done a break, is it not? Is that not done a break?
It has, but what is this?
Distribution.
Yeah, but in terms of structure order flow, what is that?
Nothing.
That's what I'm saying. It took 40 days. So price was after this let me drop down. After this reaction from here, price went and made this high, right? It took
Yeah.
40 days, right? 39 days or so, just to come back to the same price action that it was before.
Yeah, because it's not structure, is it?
It's not structure, is this one here.
Yeah, it's just order flow. Yeah.
This is still your structure leg. Once when we trade above, then this is going to be a structure leg. Whoops, that. And then this is going to be my MC, and this is going to be my SC, which is why I've got that in here. So at the moment, this is just a reaccumulation. So can we potentially play this? Yes, but I wouldn't want it to. Reason why is because this break here should have went ahead, because the fact that, look, we've got distro here. Yes, fair enough, we didn't break this, but accumulation, reaccumulation, we tapped into distro again. And then, you know, I don't want it to tap into distro again and then come down and then do this. I'd rather just do that and then come back down and do this. That's going to be very significant, very important. So let's see.
Thanks, GK.
There's that. Yeah, so what I was saying about XPT. The XPT again, if you wanna, there's two, I would recommend doing this over the weekend, guys. We know we was talking about this I think a couple of backtests ago. There was a nice session, backtesting session in here inside this SC, and then look at what it did. We went ahead, we broke structure. This was our SC, this was our MC. After breaking the structure, price comes back into the SC, gives you another opportunity, and then there you go. And then right now it's just, you know, on that bull run here. But definitely go ahead and backtest that. You get, I feel like you get two things. Well, there's so many benefits when it comes to backtesting, but definitely two things in terms of your market cycles and in terms of your structure legs as well, and your point of interest. Definitely would help you with that. The other one I would highly recommend over the weekend is going to be this ASOS. This bad boy here is going to be very beneficial to you. Again, in terms of accumulations, so market cycle is definitely there. Structure is also definitely there. Point of interest is also there as well. And schematics within point of interest is also there. For example, we can see this was a redistro. And we can see there's your distro within your redistro. Okay. There was another redistro here. That was the SC that didn't do anything. And then you can see within this there was a nice opportunity to get into it, with the fundamentals behind it as well. So this was one that backtest 1 to 147, and then the other one is 1 to 78. Definitely recommend those. And then I think that's it. Just sit tight and let's see what next week brings.
You're looking for it to break there, yeah?
Well, I think everything is saying to. We're bearish higher time frame. We've got that break here. This is what's maintaining lower time frame. Sorry, this was maintaining intraday. So I don't know if, yeah. And then only accumulation at this date is help us tap into supply. There's our type 5 distro up in here with that head and shoulder. And then that help, that is, then we've distributed. So I'm looking for this to do that, which is why I'm gonna alert and see. But yeah, find out.
Can I ask you a question again? I'm still struggling with my type 5 and type 3 and type 2. You just said that was a type 5?
Yeah, and the best answer is don't worry about them. Just worry about two types, type 1 and type 2s. That's it. The only reason I know this is a type 5 is because it's a head and shoulder. That's it. I don't trade this. I can't trade it. Because if you were to do this, where's like so you would need this break, which okay, fair enough, we got. Then according to this, you know, somewhere in there, you would have to get your entry in here. But then this, because there's no U-tide or no up thrust, you're gonna have to place your stop loss here, and that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The best ones are going to be your type 1s and type 2s, and I'm not just saying that. Like, record yourself on your journal, on your backtesting journal, on your actual journal, and see it for yourself. I know for me, type 1s and type 2s are the best. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, cool. Let me know if there's any other questions. If not, we can close it down.
Thanks, GK.
No worries at all. Was there anything that you guys caught this week? I was looking at some of the indices. I know Jake sent me this. What was it that he looked at? Like even here, yeah, I know. I was looking at that as well. It was the 1 minute somewhere in there. Yeah, it was this, wasn't it? Was it? What was it? Oh, it was this. Yeah, it was that. Yeah, but I can definitely see the accumulation. But for me, it was. Well, I think we still need to get some data because we've. What did we do? We came into this slingshot here that caused the break. We have distributed, okay, which is why I was most likely looking to get a sell here. Okay, that we got a distro up in here. I think it was a 72 minute, I want to say. Yeah, there you go. The 72 minute was a good one that I was looking at. And we can see the micro. We can see the type 1 micro inside this 1, 2, 3 break here. Okay, so you can see the micro inside the bigger distro. And then for me, this was just pullback for us to tap into this. Now, the only thing I don't like is this. So inside this micro here, when we break, which is here, we come back to this. Okay, so there's that. If you want to calculate the whole move, there's that. And if you want to do the Fibbo, there's that. Okay, so I think it comes back to about this here. Yeah. So it comes back quite deeply, and it seems like this has been mitigated. So whether, I mean, the 80% is still valid, I would say, as the last point of that UTAD for us here. So let's see. Because I like, if this was if we went ahead and we took out this, then definitely I would say so, you know, like definitely we're definitely sellers. But we've got an accumulation that went ahead here, so this whole thing, if we break this, can turn into a reaccumulation, and we won't know for sure until we do two things: either break this or we break this, which I'm hoping for, because we still got Asian price action here. So let's see. But yeah, and then if you was to get into this, if this was to get into a distro, into an accumulation that breaks, and then we get something like this to go up, there's enough like potential to come even down to the lower time frame, and then there's obviously lots more to come down and make a new high now, new intraday high. So yeah, definitely there's a lot of, and I think this is what I was saying to you, Jake, like GU's been dropping, EU's been dropping. Where's that here? So what we need is a break of lower time frame, and then some sort of order flow behind it, booth. So at least you're bullish twice, and then you can get into as some sort of hedge. Obviously, it's going to be a reduced risk, to at least come back into lower time frame, come back into intraday, and even higher time frame. There's enough potential. Yeah, there you go, nearly 1300 pips. So we'll see. And now we made a new low. This is going to be the slingshot. This is the extreme. Next week I'm going to be looking more into it and delete all of this. I feel like this has been mitigated already. So yeah, we'll see. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one. If there's anything, just let me know. Give me a shout. No worries.